Alrighty, we are back. So, as mentioned previously, we are here in
Hanoi.
Yes.
Beautiful city.
And here in Hanoi, they honk to let you know that they're passing, that they're on your left, saying hello. Not angry honking, but there is a lot of honking. And there are a couple mopeds.
Yeah, it's pretty much the motopocalypse. I mean, it's pretty wild. Watching the traffic today and before when we were coming into Hanoi was just nuts. Like, these guys are unbelievable, weaving in and out of pedestrians, cars, driving on both sides of the road, so strollers up on the sidewalk.
But it all goes slowly, and nobody hits each other, nobody runs into each other, so it all works quite well. But anyway, when we left you, we had just descended off of the mount.
That's right. We had watched the sunset in Yangshuo, and we were deciding to get out of Dodge and head further south to try and make it here to Vietnam.
Which sounds like a relatively simple undertaking.
It was a 2-hour train, high speed, to Nanning, and then the plan was to get on a sleeper that would take us all the way here to Hanoi, and we would go to sleep, wake up, and be here.
Then have extra time in Vietnam to explore, wander,
exactly. Meet up with old friends.
Yeah. Instead, we then went to go book the tickets and...
Tickets that were only available for sale at the Nanning rail station.
No, you're getting ahead of things. We went to Lee from Yangshuo, and we were going to take the high speed, but then we had to
switch. Yeah, we couldn't do it.
We had to backtrack.
Yeah. So then they were like, oh, all the trains are booked out of Yangshuo, you can't leave Nanning, but we can put you on a shuttle bus that will take you back to Guilin, and from Guilin, you could probably catch a train.
Yeah. And keeping in mind that the overnight train from Nanning could only be booked in person, so we go back to Guilin
early in the morning,
long
first trip weekend,
pain in the butt, shitty bus ride.
Oh god, that was miserable.
We get back in there, we have a little bit of a layover, we transfer, we get to the train station, we get on our train, it's a slower train, the train eventually takes us to Nanning, we get into Nanning.
That's right, they drop us off and we're at the wrong rail station, which is fine, so we grab another train ticket and we transfer over to it was a metro ticket.
Yeah, metro.
Jump on the metro and transfer over to the main railway station and then get up to the counter, which they have one window that speaks English. Yay! And we're like, okay, we'd like to book our tickets for the overnight train to Hanoi.
And sold out.
For 2 days. So...
needless to say, we didn't have a strong desire to stay in Nanning.
No, it's another just massive city, and I'm sure there are nice things to see, but we were itching to get away from that.
Yeah.
So we decided that we were going to just make our way as far down as we could, and we grabbed an evening train. What was it, 6 o'clock?
Well, so that was the thing. So about 30 minutes from when we were told that the train was sold out, and by the time we went back and forth and kind of tried to look at alternatives and figure out what was going on.
Felt like an hour.
Then we were, it took about that long, right? But then we were able to, I looked and I checked and I saw that there was this town that had a kind of interesting description that was 2/3 of the way to the border, and figured, okay, we'll jump down on that, and then from there maybe we can get a regional train or something that takes us to the border.
Right. And there was a high-speed train to Changshuo that we could jump on in just a few minutes, about 20 minutes.
No, it wasn't high-speed.
In the booking. Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was the overnight sleeper.
Oh, right. All right.
So the idea.
In my dreams, it was high-speed. I was like, please, but it only took 2 hours, and it cuts 6 hours off of the bus ride.
Right.
That's why I thought it was high speed.
The equivalent of the high speed.
Right.
So we run and we get on that, and it turns out that it is the sold-out train.
It's literally the train to Hanoi. It is the sold-out train to Hanoi. So we're sitting on the carriages in front of the sleepers.
In the front, yeah,
that
exactly.
Go all the way through to Hanoi on the same tracks, on the same train, and we went to Changshuo.
Yep. So Changshuo we had no idea about. It turns out it's not a huge city, but it's another big city.
Much more approachable and more
charming in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh god, and we had great fried chicken. Oh my. A lot of
good fried chicken, a lot of good food. But so that's the thing. So we got in there. It was 8:30 when we arrived. We go in and they're in the process of shutting down the ticketing office because that sleeper train is the last train. And we ask them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're closing now."
But tomorrow.
But tomorrow you'll get tickets.
And we're like, wait, we can't be stuck here. Like, using a translator app in the phone, we can't be stuck here. Like, can you save us the tickets? Like, can we write our names and our passport numbers? And they're like, yeah, but you can't buy them now. Tomorrow, come at 7. And the train leaves at 8. And we're like, okay, so we'll come at 7 o'clock tomorrow night and hope that there are beds for us to go down.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah. No, 2 tickets. There will be 2 tickets. It's okay.
And they were really helpful, and
they were super sweet.
Keeping in mind, any communication during the majority of our China trip has been done through Google Translate or this other app. The two-way speaking function is amazing.
It's really fantastic.
But so anyway, then we figured we have this, we find a hotel, which they were also very helpful, but then we're like, okay, we have basically an entire day in this town. There's these waterfalls nearby, but then they looked like they were going to be really expensive and too far, like 2 hours to go and come back and all this different stuff. And so eventually what we ended up deciding to do is...
There's a car trying to make it through the scooters, so you can you can hear how well that's going.
I think they're violating some sort of unspoken rule.
That's right. There's a lot of angry glares over there.
So, so the following day decided we're going to suck it up and we are going to charter a car to try and get some countryside.
Yeah. Finally, get out of these cities and start to get more into the rural area.
Especially because the train trip in looked much more like the Guilin that we had expected and anticipated.
Finally, like the beautiful domes with smallholder agriculture and people out in the fields working and planting, and it was finally kind of the more rural feeling that we were hungering for and really had been looking for.
And then rivers running through it. Not really rice fields at that point because it's the wrong time of year, but sugarcane fields everywhere that they were harvesting out by hand. Spectacular.
Wild.
So decided we were going to try and do that the following day. Finally negotiated, and for about 700 kroner, so about $100, a driver for the duration of the day who took us around.
Right, and petrol in the car.
Exactly. And the first stops were little local stuff
that was nice. I mean, there was history, like a leaning guard tower that was built into one of the river bends, and a little overlook with a temple, and then out to kind of a new tourism park that had just opened and that was really showing how new it was.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything open, and a lot of the construction was like the forms were still on the cement, and
not that interesting.
Yeah, we didn't appreciate it.
But then the driver said, do you want to go to the falls? And we said, but that's
too
far away.
Right.
I don't think that's too expensive. It's like, no, it's only an hour if we do the high-speed highway.
Right. So we said, all right. Wow, we were a little.
Can we make it? We need to be back by.
Fine, let's do it.
Can we be back by 6?
And he was like, six, no problem.
So we do it. We jump on it.
And mind you, we were trying to conserve our money, right? Because we're leaving China, hopefully that night. And we're like, well, we don't really want to pull more money out, so let's see what we can do within our budget.
Super tight.
We're in the car, and we're like, all right, let's go. We jump on the high-speed highway. We're racing out there. The kid who was our driver was like maybe 17.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19, like
so young.
Definitely quite young.
Yeah. Hauls ass. He gets us out there safely, and we come to find out that it is a transnational waterfall and a friendship project between Vietnam and China, and it's shared, and it is a massive tourist facility.
Yeah, we wind back in there, and we came in the back way, basically, right? So then we wind back in through these passes. It's beautiful, these small little villages, and then boom, we pull up to this welcome center that looks like a giant stadium.
I mean, it was huge. Yep. It is built to handle a capacity of maybe 60, 70,000 people.
And super expensive. So we end up trying to figure out, okay, we have to take shuttle buses now. We thought we were just going to walk up to this little waterfall.
Big waterfall.
Have to spend the money, whatever it is. So anyway, it cost us a bunch of money.
Had to borrow some money from the driver.
Yeah, not a bunch of money. I mean, I guess
some cash.
It was like 15, 20 bucks in total for the commute and everything else. So it wasn't bad. But then we hop on the buses, haul out there. Well, the buses don't. They just kind of
putt. Well, actually, they're electric, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the electric buses were great.
Yeah. But
great.
We get out there,
and then it is totally worth it because those waterfalls were gorgeous. Were so pretty,
spectacular. My functional theory is that they are the waterfalls shown in every Vietnamese and Chinese restaurant with
every
those
time
moving,
you sit down. Exactly,
the little weird, tacky moving piece of artwork,
LED frames, the moving pictures.
That's these waterfalls.
Right. And it's gorgeous. I mean, you've got a U, and then you have a flat fall face, and the two separate falls. And then, because the water level was low, you had all of these littler water features moving up through the waterfalls that you'll see in some of our video and photos. It is just outstanding.
Yeah, delicate and
gorgeous.
Just absolutely fantastic. But we were super rushed because we technically only had an hour and a half that we could be there.
We may have taken 2 hours.
Yeah, which still went by in a flash, but most of that was commuting back and forth.
Right.
To the falls, on the bus and everything else.
Super rushed, had to rush our photos, had to rush our videos, and that's okay. I still think we got some great shots out of it.
Yep.
But we hustled back. We met our driver at 6, which is when we were supposed to be back in Changzhou.
At 5.
No, it was at 6. And then we started to hustle
30.
back. And he got us back about 7:30 into Changzhou. Yep. And remember, we're supposed to pick up these tickets that are being held for us that we haven't paid for, just hopefully reserved.
That we don't know they actually have.
At 7.
Yeah.
So it's now 7:30.
Yep.
We get into the train station by about 7:45, and the clerks, the conductors behind the ticket agents.
But actually,
the window,
before we tell you what happens next, that's going to be the next Brothers Burger.
Oh, cut off!
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll move on.
So, from downtown Hanoi, Brothers Burger.
Signing off.